Yeah, yeah, we're back with a review of The Force Awakens, maybe the most anticipated movie in film history. We'd had a 10-year layoff of Star Wars, but we were continuing the original trilogy with the old actors back. Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, Mark Hamill reprising their roles. It's to be directed by J.J. Abrams. Released in 2015. Can I hype it up anymore? Oh my god, we don't know what's going to happen. Where's it going to take place? What's it going to be about? And I'm just going to say right off the bat, there's going to be a lot of salt from me. There's going to be a lot of salt from me about this movie and the next one. And if you're going to be salty at my saltiness, then just fuck off. Because I don't want to hear about it. Okay, this is just my opinion, our opinion. Well, I don't know what your opinion is on these really. And yeah, let's just get into it. Force Awakens, I mean, I was so hyped for this, and you really didn't know anything about it going in. There was so many theories floating around. I remember I thought, well, I didn't think, but there was one that Kylo Ren was going to be Luke Skywalker because he didn't mention any trailers or anything. Finn was appearing to be the Jedi because he had the lightsaber and all the promotional shit. It was just so hyped, and you know, it became one of the biggest movies of all time on release. It broke records, grossed over $2 billion, all that stuff, and when it came out, I enjoyed it because it was Star Wars. I was kind of just mindlessly watching it because, you know, I wanted to see another Star Wars movie. But then, as I've watched it more and more over time, I've kind of just liked it less every time I've watched it. The main reason, which I did instantly not like as soon as I did see it for the first time, is that this is literally a reskin of A New Hope. Just the similarities are just off the charts. This movie begins on a sand planet where they've got to give something to a droid to give to somebody else, and there's a slave girl, kind of. She's not really a slave, but she's getting shit for parts. There's a masked villain looking for the plans. It's not plans, it's a map this time that they've given to the robot. And then it just literally follows A New Hope. So, like, it just is that same movie. So every time I watch it, I'm just like, yeah, I'd rather just watch A New Hope than this, because, okay, let's just go over the story. I'm not actually alone in this review. I've just been taking it over.
And I'm Liz Carmouche.
I've just been taking it over by myself because, yeah. So it starts off with Poe Dameron, a rebel pilot who has gotten a map to Luke Skywalker.
Not quite. His
full
dad
map.
kind of thing has.
That guy.
The old guy.
Some old guy gives it to him as part of a map to Luke Skywalker, but the Empire kind of just intercept them, and Poe has to give it to BB-8 to take it off into the distance. Poe gets abducted by the
First Order?
It's not the Empire, actually. It's the First Order, but they are the Empire.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. And then one of the stormtroopers on the ship that Poe gets taken to, called Finn. Well, he gets named Finn.
What is it, FN2?
FN2187.
Yeah.
He goes against the First Order because he doesn't believe in all that shit. And he helps Poe to escape. They land back on Jakku/Tatooine. And what's his name? Finn comes across BB-8 and Rey, someone living there who dreams of getting off the planet.
He finds BB-8 first.
Yeah, she finds BB-8.
Yeah, sorry,
She finds BB-8 and is kind of looking after him for a little bit. She dreams of getting off the planet because Luke Skywalker did as well, and yeah, Finn comes across both of them and says, "Oh yeah,"
because he's wearing Poe's jacket.
Poe's jacket. And then BB-8's got the map to Luke Skywalker. We need to give it to the rebels or whatever. They're still called the rebels in this, aren't they? The Resistance.
Resistance.
So they've literally just made the exact same movie as A New Hope, but they've changed Tatooine to Jakku, the Rebels to the Resistance, the Empire to the First Order, but it still just is the exact same movie. And Kylo Ren is the villain this time instead of Darth Vader, but he's just another guy with a mask on.
He's a Darth Vader wannabe.
And so they escape Jakku on the Millennium Falcon, which was their...
A hunk of junk.
Because
it got traded in by someone.
Yeah, and then when they're flying away, Rey, I mean, I'm going to get more into her, not literally, I wish I could.
What are you going to say?
But she just instantly is just good at everything. Like, we'll get more into it, but...
Because she's so in one with the Force.
Straight away, she can just do everything. She's never flown shit before. She's literally flying it better than Han Solo or Luke Skywalker ever could. Just straight away. She does, though. And it's just fucking, it just grinds my gears.
It is quite annoying.
And then they escape the planet, but Han Solo has tracked them down. And then basically is like, I fought alongside Luke in the battles or whatever. And then they go to Mars Kanata on a planet that I can't remember the name of for another cantina scene where he knows that she can tell them more about... What is she actually telling them about? What is she? I can't even remember. I'm gonna go down to the plot.
I just remember that Rey goes down and finds the lightsaber.
Yeah, so aboard the Falcon, determines that BB has met the First Order. The crew travels to the planet Takodana and meets with cantina owner Maz Kanata, who offers assistance getting... Yeah, so they're trying to just get them back to the Resistance, I guess. And then Rey is drawn by the Force to a vault where she finds a lightsaber belonging to Luke and Anakin, because the amount of coincidences in this movie is actually just insane. And
is it coincidence though, or is it the Force?
Well, it's like the Millennium Falcon first off, and then Anakin's lightsaber, which fell to the bottom of Cloud City, and somehow they have in this movie, which they never have explained, and I don't know if they will in the Rise of Skywalker.
Sounds like you're a hater.
I'm not a hater.
You're a hater. He's a hater.
It's dumb though.
He's a hater.
It's so.
He's a hater.
How can you justify all these things about like just it's the Force?
Force. That's what it is.
Force.
It's the Force.
Okay.
There it is. The saltiness is coming out.
That's just a justification for anything wrong with the movie, but Rey gets captured by Kylo Ren and
Daniel Craig.
Yeah, and Poe reveals himself to be alive because they'd crash landed on Jakku. They thought he was dead. But the rebels show up and kind of drive the First Order out. But Kylo Ren's gotten Rey, and then Finn and Han Solo go back to the Resistance base, where we're
Star Destroyer.
Well, no,
is it not?
I'm talking about the Resistance. I'm not talking about the First Order.
Oh, yeah. I get you. I get you.
I'm trying to... There's multiple things happening at once. But yeah, they go back to the Resistance base where reintroduced to Leia, and her and Han have a little jack-off session. C-3PO's got a red arm for no reason.
You probably didn't recognise me.
With the red arm, which I have for no reason, apart from probably just to sell another toy. I mean, I am getting real salty, but they just didn't explain any of the random shit that's in this movie. See, if they've explained it outside the movie, I don't care, because... the movie, you can't just be like, they've explained it in something else. It's like, they should explain it in the movie. I shouldn't have to watch something else so I know what's happening in the movie, if you know what I mean.
I do know what you mean.
But whatever. Kylo Ren's captured Rey there in a kind of...
chamber
thing. He reveals himself. He's not Luke Skywalker. He's actually the son of Han Solo and Princess Leia. And...
Ben.
That's how he's got Force powers through Princess Leia's side. And he's the grandfather... No, he's not. The grandchild of Darth Vader, trying to live up to his name. And... yeah, Rey is able to resist his mind-reading attempts because she has the Force.
Because there's sexual tension between them.
Yeah. She's able to use a Jedi mind trick on a Stormtrooper, even though she didn't even believe in the Jedi. I know they existed, so somehow she knows how to do mind tricks.
She read about them, though.
Did she?
Yes.
When?
I don't know, but she read about Han Solo, so why would she not read about the Jedi?
Did she?
Yeah, because she was like, you went the parsec, 12 parsecs.
Oh, yeah. Whatever. Yeah, R2D2's inactive because he just is, and then
And BB-8 turns him on.
where
BB-8 touches his cock and turns him on.
if you didn't think this movie was similar enough to A New Hope already, they literally have another Death Star. Don't tell me it's not. It fucking is. They have another Death Star for the third.
What's it called?
Starkiller Base.
Then it's not.
It's not the Death
It's
Star.
not Death Star.
They
Well, I thought it
literally-
was Star Destroyer.
They literally say in this, they're like, oh, it's another Death Star. No, it's not. It's bigger. It's like, okay, well, you've literally just done a third Death Star, mate. Oh, just...
Hater.
So, Han, Chewbacca and Finn go to get Rey. They plant explosives around Starkiller Base. Han confronts Kylo because he's his son, but Kylo kills him.
Oh,
because
so
Han
sad.
Solo, Harrison Ford
Tried turning him.
Harrison Ford always wanted Han Solo to die, and I guess
Yeah.
this was kind of...
Didn't even star in the first Star Wars movie, and one of them did.
This just annoys me though, because Han Solo's dead now, and personally, I wanted this to be about Luke, Leia, and Han again, them doing more shit together if that's what it was going to be, and now we can never get that. We can never get...
When we can, there's like Force Ghosts.
But Carrie Fisher's dead.
Doesn't mean she can't be a
And
Force
so is
Ghost.
Han Solo. He can't be a Force Ghost because he didn't have the Force.
Yeah, but I'm
And
sure there's
Harrison
some
Ford's
way.
not gonna
I'm
come
sure
back.
there's some
They're
way
not
they
going
can
to
do
do
it.
it.
They could.
They won't.
They will.
But we can never have without CGI, which would just be bullshit in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, this movie should have just been Han, Luke, Leia reuniting to do some other missions or something that just weren't another New Hope. But instead, we can never get them reuniting back together again because Luke is only in the movie at the very end. Han Solo is killed off. It's just like, you had this opportunity to bring them back together and you haven't done it. And Mark Hamill himself was like, oh, because when he read the script, he was like, oh, I'm never going to work with Harrison Ford ever again, which is what he was looking forward to in this movie. Which is just, it's just depressing. It's
How's
just
the only one that's still alive in the movie? He's the only one that's dead in real life.
yeah. Because that
Doesn't make much sense there.
to write them in even more of a corner than they already wrote themselves.
Wrote.
But yeah, it just gets worse as it goes on, really. The Rebels are pretty much blowing up Starkiller Base all at the same time. Kylo Ren is fighting Finn and Rey. So you think Finn... No, you don't. Well, at this point, you're kind of just like, yeah, Rey is going to be the Jedi. Which is like, okay, she's done a bit of shit. But then she just... Kylo Ren is supposed to be like the big... Well, his master is Snoke, who's just in this movie in the background, just telling him what to do, pretty much. But you're like, oh yeah, Kylo Ren's like the Darth Vader of this trilogy. And then Rey beats him so easily, even though she's never had any Jedi training at all. It's the first time she's ever held a lightsaber. Kylo Ren is supposed to be this sick bad guy.
While we're talking about beating easily, though, Captain Phasma.
Oh yeah, Captain Phasma's just put into a garbage disposal for this movie, and then
This wasn't...
We'll talk about what happens in the last Jedi
Yeah.
when that video comes around, but it's just Captain Phasma again, another sick looking person who's just
Villain that dies.
He's just in the background in this one, and then, you know. But Kylo Ren defeated easily by Rey. It's just... There's no reason to get behind Rey, because she's just so OP at everything. Like, I never... Like, at this point, there's no... It's literally Roman Reigns. Like, she's
Yeah.
just always winning. There's no reason to get behind her.
Like, this is just her first movie. You think, even in Luke's second movie, after all this training, he still can't
Which
beat
is
Vader.
why Luke was... Like, you were so behind him, because he was such an underdog.
I mean,
He
unless
had to
Kylo
train.
is just the worst.
That's the thing though, because it does two bad things at the same time.
It makes her OP.
Rey so OP because she's just never been beaten, and you're like, oh, why should I care about her if she's just gonna beat everyone all the time?
Yeah.
And it makes Kylo look so weak. You're like, oh, he's not like a good villain because he's shit. And then, so yeah, Kylo Ren gets defeated, not killed. He's just taken out. And Starkiller Base explodes at the end because the Death Star exploded, and the fucking thing for me, it was just a middle finger, which everyone was fizzing about, is when they get back to the Resistance base, and Leia just completely ignores Chewbacca and goes straight to Rey, this person she's just met, for about 5 seconds, which tells me everything about this whole movie. Like, they've just shoved all the original trilogy shit out the way just to have all this new shit. that is it just ruins the original. It doesn't really ruin it, but I mean, in the next one it does. But yeah, it's just as a complete copy of A New Hope. It is,
Yeah, it is.
like you. Like, if there was some things you're like, oh, it's a bit similar, but no, it literally
Is everything.
so much of the movie just is exactly the same, to the point you're like, why should I even, like, I just, every time, I struggle to watch this because I'm just like, I want to watch A New Hope. This is just a worse version with characters I don't like.
I don't hate it as much as you, but I don't enjoy it the most.
I don't, like, I can watch the movie and somewhat enjoy it. I just hate, like, the Disney behind it more. Like, I hate the fact that they had to just do it again, but just like a worse version, kind of.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Like, I can watch this movie and be like, oh yeah, it's entertaining. It's still just A New Hope, but like the fact that they just did that again is what I hate more. Like,
it's not as good.
Like, you have so many opportunities to make a whole new story, but again, they've just done the exact same thing. And for me, even this movie alone kind of just ruins everything they worked towards with the original trilogy, trying to bring down the Empire, that to blow up 2 Death Stars, everything. And then here, it's like, oh, nah, they're just so...
Yeah.
Like, everything you've worked for has just been for nothing, because the First Orders are still around, and they've just made another Starkiller base and everything. It's just, it annoys me. But R2-D2 conveniently wakes up to reveal the rest of the map, which, I guess. And then Rey finds Luke Skywalker, and the movie ends, and...
Well, she gives him a lightsaber.
And that's the end of The Force Awakens. So, I mean, there are obviously good things about it. The visuals, the music, obviously that stuff is great in most every movie. The prequels don't have the best visuals. But from a technical standpoint, this movie is really good. And just from again, the storyline, the script is just, no thanks. I'm just not invested in it really at all, and it just gets worse with the next movie. But, I mean, I don't know. I just don't like this trilogy at all. I just don't like it at all, because what reason should I have to be...
Episode 9's going to have to redeem.
Yeah, like, we'll talk about it more in Last Jedi, but at this point, I've got no reason to be invested in this at all, because you've just kind of... It's what Terminator do. They just make a new story that just is the exact same, and at the same time just completely ruin everything they've done that's been great in the past, just to keep making the same story. And I'm just like, The Mandalorian, I think, is a perfect example of an original story, Star Wars wise, that's enjoyable. Like, literally, just give the Skywalker shit a rest. It should have ended with Return of the Jedi, and they either continue with those characters but with a whole new story, or just make a whole new story instead of just doing the same shit. But yeah, that's The Force Awakens. It's just, I don't know. It's a Disney movie. Like, Disney made all these live action remakes, and to me this kind of just is another one.
Yeah.
Like, they're just remaking the same shit because, yeah.
Money.
I think, like, all the acting and shit's really good. Like, all that's, it's just the I don't like the characters, though, so it kind of just defeats the whole thing. And, yeah, I have been salty in this video, but I want Star Wars to be good, and this trilogy just hasn't done it for me. I want original Star Wars content, like The Mandalorian, which is so good, and this is just...
And High School Musical.
And High School Musical...
The musical, the series.
Might have to start watching that. But yeah, Force Awakens, I've been salty, but I think it's mostly justified. Like, they just should have made an original story. And it just... Last Jedi is next, so we'll finish up here, and we'll get to that. But yeah, anything else to say about Force Awakens? Like, I know you enjoy it. Like, I can...
Yeah. Yo, back again. Washing the car.
I can. There's a guy who's just been washing a car outside for about 2 days straight. And, like, I can enjoy this movie watching it. It's just really hard to when I'm just like, you're just defeating all the original trilogy and just to make it again. I mean...
What a budget as well.
Yeah, 300 million, but I mean, it made the
$2 billion.
shit back, but yeah.
Do you reckon Rise of Sky is going to make more?
Not 2 billion. I'll say we'll easily make over $1 billion, but
I think it's gonna
I
be
don't
the
know.
most expensive movie of all time.
It depends. I think at the end of last year, we'll give our thoughts more on
Yeah.
Rise of Skywalker, but that's Force Awakens for now.
Yep, I've been Ballistic Lip Conditioning Balm.
I've been
Salty?
remakes, re-original, salt, but I think it is a bit like Star Wars fans do just complain, but you know I think here it is justified.
Yeah, even more so in the one we're talking about next.
Yeah, we'll see you then.
Bye.